What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Summoner's War video. Today we're going to be talking about Douglas and why he's good, who we counter, stuff like that. So let's get to it. So first of all, this is my SW content monsters. This is basically where I just go over monsters that I'm talking about, stuff like that. And let's get straight into it. So first of all, Douglas counters. Any win, crit damage, bruiser. Um, he's great against, for instance, Diana, Ethna, Cheongpung, Ayunu, Momo. Ayunu's not really. I mean, he is somewhat of a crit damage bruiser. He's more of a just a crit damage, not really a bruiser. And then for fire units, we have Belnus, Ken, and Cardinal. There's a lot more fire units, obviously, that he can go against. But those are the for fire units. Belnus, he's great against, I guess. Ken. I would say he's less good against, but Cardinal, out of all of these bonus Ken Cardinal, out of all those three units, I definitely say he's best against Cardinal because of Douglas is passive. The more attack you have, the more the more likelihood of Cardinal or any units glance are going to glance on him. So first of all, let's just get into the next slide real quick. What Douglas needs. So he needs lots of attack. For an intermediate player, I'd say at least plus 2,000 attack. Because of his passive, he needs more attack. The more attack, the more chance units are going to glance on him, and he's going to cleanse. So that's great. He's great on Vampire Revenge. I'd say he needs Vampire Revenge. I would definitely say he needs Vampire Revenge. Uh, Revenge that way, just in case he doesn't get glanced on, he still has a chance to revenge, heal himself back up with the vampire, and then the vampire, you need him on vampire, otherwise you're basically screwed. Not vampire, then you need more support from other units to be able to do damage with Douglas, and that's not really what he's used for. I would say for slots 2, 4, 6, I'd say attack, attack, attack with good HP, speed, and crit damage subs. I don't have that included in here, but definitely good crit damage subs. You could also do attack, crit damage attack, or speed, crit damage attack, or speed attack, attack. But he does not really need speed, so I'd say attack, 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 or attack, crit damage attack. With great crit damage subs and great HP subs, okay? Reason why I say HP subs is because you don't want him to die instantly still, so I say you want at least plus like 12k HP on him, or plus 10 to 12k HP on him in general. Let's go back and talk about what he counters. So, he's great against Diana, Ethna, Cheongpung, Ayunu, Momo. So he's great against Diana because Diana is built off of crit rate. She needs crit rate to turn cycle more, everything like that. Um, more, and then what's also great is that Diana is built off of since she's on 100% crit rate, usually more people build her on crit damage, not so much attack. If you look at other people's builds, she's since she is usually having 100% crit rate, people put more crit damage. So that way, since she's always critting, she's always doing more damage with the crit damage subs, stuff like that. I think my Diana on my main is I believe I honestly, it's either speed crit damage HP or it's HP crit damage HP. I'm not too sure. Ethna, on the other hand, he's good against Ethna. She actually is really great. Your Douglas is gonna win against Ethna as long as you have tons of attack on Douglas because she's going to stun if you have pretty low HP, 50% or lower. I believe she stuns a unit guaranteed. So if you have lots of attack on him, and usually Ethna is not just built on crit damage like Diana because Diana needs crit rate, 100% crit rate, so she's always critting. So less likely. I mean, yeah, so it's great, but then Ethna, it doesn't need crit damage. And so a lot of people like to put more attack than crit damage on her because they want her to do damage and strip and stun and all of that. So not as great, but at the same time, that's why you need tons of attack on him because if you do have more or a decent amount more attack on them, maybe it's not going to be a 50% chance to have them glance, but uh, either way, it's more likely Ethna's more likely to glance on your Douglas because he's a fire unit and because you have a lot more attack. Maybe not a lot, but more attack on him than their Ethna does. So he's gonna cleanse. this stun if you because if she glances out of all those hits, she's gonna uh he's gonna cleanse because when people glance on him, he does cleanse himself. If there's it's not like he cleanses all of the debuffs on him. So if there's multiple dots, uh, plus a freeze, plus all that, people glance on him, he's only gonna remove one die. He's only gonna remove one bomb. He's only gonna remove one freeze, one debuff at a time. So not really good against Gina's just a lot of people, Gina's, Praha's, Juno's. Um, Gina's Praha, Juno's, a lot of units like Belinus, he's not great against. He is good against Belinus, don't get me wrong. He's definitely good against Belinus. Um, but not as much because Belinus is also built on attack and things like that. And so is Ken. He's actually pretty good against Ken as long as you have a lot more attack than the enemy Ken does. Because he's going to hit multiple times, things like that. Then we have Cheongpung. He's great against Cheongpung because of his AoE hits and him being a wind units against fire units. So a lot of Cheongpungs are meant to take first turn. So if you have a lot of uh, turn 2 units on the field, you most likely are running will or double will, right? So he's going to use his S2 to strip. If he does glance on Douglas, because Shangpungs don't usually have a lot of attack. Usually it's speed HP, or it's people will build him on speed attack HP as well. But even sometimes they'll have their slot 6 as accuracy because they definitely want him to get the glancing and death break buff or debuff on the units that he strips. So he's going to use S2. It's going to strip. If he glances on that, which most likely he will, your Douglas is going to revenge, snipe him usually, and maybe not kill him because he is built on speed HP usually. So he's going to have a decent amount of HP. So you're probably not going to snipe him out with one revenge on the Shengpeng, but that's okay. So uh, even if he strips and gets the glancing or death break on your Douglas, he's going to cleanse it because if they glance, because it's passive, if you glance on him, he's going to cleanse himself, like I said. Then Shangpeng, if he doesn't die, he's going to use his S3 once he usually gets a turn because they want to set all of your units on cooldown time. And that's great too because Douglas's passive, basically the way he works is um, he will let me just explain this. So basically, if he Shangpeng hits 4 times, right? Okay, so if Shangpeng hits him 4 times, let's say he doesn't glance on Douglas the first time, doesn't glance on him the second time, but he glances on him the third time, but then he doesn't glance on him the fourth time. It doesn't matter how many times you get hit. If you glance at least one time on a Douglas, he's going to revenge and cleanse himself. So if he hits 4 times but only and he only glances once, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna revenge, cleanse yourself, do all that good stuff. So he's great against Shangpeng, really great against Shangpeng, and you'll see that once we get into watching other players use him first match, stuff like that. Ayunu, he's great because if you snipe Ayunu, he comes back to life. He's gonna hit you multiple times, do the Oblivion things. I believe it is Oblivion. So basically, the way the Oblivion is going to work is, I mean, he's great against Ayunu if you want to snipe him out, but at the same time, if he does land the Oblivion, his passive is going to um, I haven't really tried him out against Ayunu, so this is actually a great theory. I need you guys to leave this in the comment down below. Uh, Ayunu, when he comes back to life, he's going to use his S2. So if he glances on the hit that he puts Oblivion, I'm not too sure if he's going to cleave or if he's going to cleanse the debuff of Oblivion, or since there's Oblivion on him, even if you glance, he's not going to revenge. I'm not too sure how that works. He's just good to snipe Ayunu out, basically. Let's just not talk too much about Ayunu because I'm just gonna leave that up to you guys to test, I guess. But then there's Momo. Okay, he's great against Momo because Momo is already not usually built on attack. You do want to snipe her usually right away. Let's say it's Diana Momo versus your Douglas. Douglas is mostly going to come out on top, but you do want to kill Momo before you kill Diana because um, Diana is going to once again have 100% crit rate, but she's not built on attack, and unless the match goes on forever, she's not going to gain more attack. If it's Diana Momo versus your Douglas, most likely they actually do have a good likely chance of uh, killing your Douglas the more the match goes on because Diana's going to gain more attack over it, and Momo's going to gain more attack. Momo's passive, she gains every single time a enemy unit gets hit, her passive stacks. She stacks her passive. Her passive gives her more defense and more attack. So the more you don't kill Momo, the longer you don't go without killing Momo, the more chance she's gonna kill your Douglas before your Douglas kills her. So people don't usually have her built on attack because she gains attack. So really, you want to snipe her out right away as fast as you can. Otherwise, her defense is gonna increase, so it's gonna be hard. She's gonna be hard to kill, and she's going to gain a lot more attack over time. If Momo's with Diana, Diana's gonna use her S2 in human form. The more so, like Diana's gonna hit you 4 times, that means Momo's gonna stack her passive 4 times, so she's getting more attack power 4 times. Plus, if the longer the match goes on in RTA, uh, they gain it. Everybody gains attack and loses HP, which is terrible for you. Um, so you want to get rid of the Momo right away, and then kill Diana. And then Diana shouldn't be too much of a problem. She's getting more attack, but so are you. So most likely you're gonna have more attack over time. If you want a Momo that counters a Douglas, on the other hand, you do want to build her on. I'd say if you have 2 Momos, build one on with more attack and build one with less attack. One for the longer game and one to get counters Douglas. Douglas is easier because if she build her Momo on more attack, if she gains attack, the more attack she's gonna have at the end of the game, right? So Douglas is going to be easier to counter because he needs more attack to be able to have you glance on him. Plus, she's a multi-hit, so it's also good for Douglas, so that she's a multi-hit usually, except for S2, but S1 she's going to be using mostly on you for the attack break too. Once again, if she only glances once, it's still fine because he's still going to cleanse and revenge, which is great against Momo because it's going to get rid of the attack break on your Douglas too. So that's great. Once again, Bellinus is it's hard to counter a Douglas with or it's easier to counter, actually a lot easier to counter uh Bellinus or Douglas with a Bellinus than Ken is because Bellinus is going to add provokes, dots, death breaks, so he's not going to be able to cleanse all the things at once. You are more likely to glance because your Douglas you're going up against probably does more have attack than your Bellinus, and that's basically it because Bellinus you want accuracy, you want attack, you want crit damage, you want HP, you want all of that. So Douglas you just basically need to focus on attack, right? Uh, so there's that. And then Ken, Ken is gonna multi-hit. It's not gonna strip. Most likely, I mean, you could put will runes on him, but even if he does strip, he's gonna get rid of everything. The branding multiple hit, if he glances on that, then this is just showing how much attack you need on your Douglas, right? But then if you have tons of attack and decent HP and crit damage subs, then you're good to go. Your Douglas is gonna be crazy. Then there's Carnal who goes. He's great against Carnal because Carnal does damage off of his HP. Since he does damage off his HP, no Cardinal's basically gonna have a lot of attack subs. They can, but it's not gonna really change any of Cardinal's damage, right? So he's gonna build more HP, and then he's way more likely when that S2 and S3 with the multi-hit, both multi-hitting, to glance on Douglas because Douglas is going to have a lot more attack than Cardinal because Cardinal's built on HP and not attack. So is that. That's basically it. That sums up Douglas. Let's get straight into the matches. Yeah, so we're going to see how C2 players draft Douglas, I guess. Alright, so we have a Roy to control the Fran and Cheongpung, and then Moore, I guess, for the speed lead, and then we have Light Monkey and Douglas. Right, once again, this is perfect because Douglas, like I said, counters Cheongpung completely. He's gonna do that AOE. He glances. He's gonna revenge. He's gonna do tons of damage. He's not good against Verd, obviously, because Verd does have 100% crit rate, but he's good against that too. So he's gonna do that. He's gonna glance again. You basically snipe him out. So this is great. Like I said, he's great against Cheongpung. He could probably Cheongpung alone could probably win this until it comes down to the Verd. He's gonna want to target once you get like if you're facing a team exactly like this, and once you get your attack gauge fully, you get your attack gauge bar all the way up, yeah, you want to instantly go for birds so that way you can get him out of the way and you're not. So like he's probably gonna lose now. This is probably game. Um, he did glance because he doesn't have much as attack, I guess. So he will glance. He's just way more likely to crit. See, so look, I think that's game. I think he still wins if he has him on vampire. He's gonna do tons of damage. Um, he is glancing a lot though, so we might not see an easy win as we see. But then right when he crits, though, it's like over. Lulu, you know what? Lulu might win this actually because once HP goes down, you don't have a lot of HP on Douglas. So and she's just gonna keep healing. But I think this turns out for Douglas because the more damage, the more he's gonna heal. Because a vampire, like I said, I think Douglas wins if he can crit. If he can keep critting, it's over. Yeah. Okay. So that's game. So I can see Douglas comes out on top. Really great against Cheongpung. Another fire unit, John, obviously. As you can see, he does glance a lot. He glanced on him. Which, since he glanced on him, he cleansed the bomb and he got the revenge. Uh, Once again, if you pick Douglas in your draft and they pick a bird and you don't ban bird, when you're able to take a turn yourself and you're not revenging, go for bird instantly because he is going to most likely have a way higher chance of not glancing because he has a 100% crit rate, almost 100% of the time. Let's just jump straight into the next match. All right, so as we can see here, we have a G2 player versus a G2 player. Ashir, not surprise. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. Gina, Jogun. See that was a very good Douglas last pick because of Gina. He's gonna cleanse if she glancing. Gina doesn't usually have a lot of attack, so not as good against Tyron because he is probably going to freeze. Um, but if you do glance, he is going to cleanse the freeze. And he only cleanses one thing per thing, so he's actually pretty great against Tyron as long as there's not as long as he just freezes because he doesn't have a lot of attack. Most likely he's going to glance stuff like that. So I do see Douglas soloing this actually if he's on Vampire. If he's not on Vampire, he's not gonna win this because even if he has multiple defects on. See, look at that. Yeah, see, he is healing, so he does have Vampire, but he's not. Yeah. So in this case, what happened here is that the combination of Gina and Tyron, the sleep, the dots, and the freeze, he only cleanses one thing every single time he gets glanced on. So if Gina puts multiple dots on him, then he freezes. He has a very likely chance, if even if the Tyron glances, to remove the freeze. Most likely he's going to remove one of the dots because there's multiple dots. So not very good against a Gina pick. But if there's no Gina, like if it would have been instead of a Gina, if it would have been like um, literally anybody else basically that doesn't multi-hit sleep. It would have been terrible against a I can't remember his name. The Dark HOH would have been terrible there too. But as you can see, obviously Tyron, Gina together pull out on top. Next match. All right, so here we have two C3 players. I'm trying to find the highest ranked players. So here, I'm sure, yeah. So the guy on the right picked Douglas. If he doesn't ban Gina, it's basically game. Douglas is going to do nothing again. We just talked about this. He is great. He's pretty good against Oliver, but Oliver is going to do big things still because it's Oliver. He's meta. Oliver usually does have a lot of attack because of people want to do damage with him, not just reset cooldown. But as you can see, if you can get Gina out of the way and sniper quickly, Douglas is going to do things. So as long as this Bird or Kinky. So she's dead. So this is a win already. Douglas is gonna come out on top of this one. There's nothing you can do against him. He's just gonna keep cleansing. Anything does. The reset cooldown time doesn't matter. He has branding. He's gonna do a lot more damage to him now. So that's game. I think unless uh the blue Lucian might come out on top. Now I think about it because it is blue. He has bombs. If he gets glance on, oh, see, this could be really bad. If he, yeah, okay. So, in that case, in that scenario, not good because you have him uh doing most likely he's gonna not glance, okay? Because he has usually people build him on high attack, especially because of bombs. Um, and he's a water unit, so it's going to be great against Douglas. That was actually a really good draft by Javi C. So, and then the Escher, a lot of people, a lot of high ranked players pick a shear just to pick a shear, try and take first turn, stuff like that. Yeah, that's really it. Let's get into the next match. So here we have two G2 players. Um, Once again, Ashir Lulu is very popular. I'm assuming a lot of people do pick Douglas if you don't have first pick. Pick him on the fourth pick. Once again, there's a Gina, and as long as he snipes out the Gina, I think he can come out on top because of Bellio. You got Lulu doing things. So as long as there's only one dot, see, she only landed one dot. If she does glance during her dot and she doesn't sleep, it is over. Gina's useless look, so she's gonna die at some point to Douglas. As long as Abellio, yep, see, he's good. He's gonna snipe out Gina. I mean, I'm not saying it's game yet because Ashir still has heals. Lulu can cleanse, stuff like that. Uh, so yeah, Douglas is gonna come out on top on this one. As you can see, he can't really go for anyone there. That was actually a very smart draft, um, by the cat on the right. Don't know how to pronounce the name. The guy on the right because um, the Moor, the Moor's most likely not gonna glance against the Douglas, but the Sheer was actually a good pick here. Um, so was the Lulu. He really had a great draft here, actually. He had everything to take care of cleansing, so Lulu for the cleanse, so no dots, stuff like that, especially file procs. Bellio for attack gauge stuff. Ashir for attack gauge things, strips. I don't know. Ashir wasn't a crazy pick here. I mean, he was probably trying to take for turn one at this point, but then realized he had a Swift Verd probably, so there was that. But that was a great pick because another thing is that Verd was going up against basically the only thing he could crit on here was the Ashir for if you want to guarantee crit, because Ashir is a light unit. If he hits Lulu, he's more likely to glance. If he hits Abellio, he's more likely to glance, and if he hits Douglas, he's more likely to glance. So the only thing he could do was go for Ashir. He hit Abellio instead. Terrible play on him. He could have got more attack gauge, and he could have stripped immunity from Lulu and stuff like that. But obviously did not. So another time Douglas comes up on top. Okay, so here's our last match. I decided to go with C1 for C1 because I'm sure a lot of you watching are probably lower ranks through higher ranks. Basically, the guy on the right is going for uh, he's trying to counter the cleave because as you can see, let's slow this down. That's my bad. Um, he thought Items would do things, but Cocky killed him instead. He doesn't really do things here, so obviously, unless something happens here, uh, he's not gonna win. Okay. Um, Odin was a pretty good pick here. He's got strips, things like that. Um, yeah, that's game. So that was super quick. Um, he got cleaved, basically. I don't know. The Odin was kind of a weird pick here. At the same time, I think he was just doing it to get rid of the Blue Lucian, stuff like that. And the Megan was here just to add attack gauge for Lucian and Cocky. Cocky was great because if he had Cocky fast enough with the Megan, then he's going to snipe out the Ayunu. Ayunu is most likely not going to kill Cocky if he has enough HP and defense, which a lot of people build Cocky on decent amount of defense, usually like plus 500 to 800 to 1100 defense on him. So that way he can't get sniped by Ayunu, and so that way he does more damage because of his passive. This is a great pick. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, how to rune Douglas, when to pick him, and who he counters and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.